Hey, welcome to the Honey and Harry Show. I'm Honey,
And I'm Harry.
and today I have such a special guest. I'm so excited. My good friend Kathryn. We have been friends for quite a while. She has a store called Paper White, and she's really into invitations, calligraphy, does a lot of weddings around town. So, Kathryn, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel honored to be here. This
Good.
is such a neat experience, and
Absolutely.
just thrilled to be sharing this time with you.
Okay, well, so let's get started. So how did you get into calligraphy? I kind of know a little bit.
Okay.
So can I say what I want to say first?
Yeah.
So Kathryn and our two sons played ball together. When they were maybe 7 or 8. How old do you
I
think?
think when we first moved to Ascension Parish, so
How old were they, you think? Maybe 8? I don't know. But anyway, so we played tournament ball. And we'd go to all these tournaments during the day, and all the parents would go downstairs and, eat and have drinks. And Kathryn would always be up in her room, and I'd go in there, and she was working, and she would have this light board, and she'd be doing calligraphy. And I can remember sitting on the bed in the hotel room watching her do it and just so amazed by it. But anyway, so that's probably part of your journey when you started, getting started. But how did you get started, really?
well, it goes back further than that. I think we
Way.
moved to Ascension Parish in 2001, but before that, I was a stay-home mom. I went to LSU and studied interior design, graduated in interior design. And of course, during the schooling, you had to write in that architectural penmanship, that straight up and down
Okay.
architectural hand. And I have several younger brothers, and one of mine was just intrigued, thought I had the coolest handwriting. And
And you do.
he is 9 years younger. Actually, he passed away recently, but and when he got engaged, asked me if I would address his wedding invitations. So talked to the bride and the parents of the bride and found out they were crane engraved invitations. So I knew these were a big deal, pretty pricey.
Oh,
and I
very
thought,
expensive.
oh my gosh, I can't mess up on these envelopes. So I asked if I could take a class to learn calligraphy, because I just knew that one hand, and it was really nothing special, nothing pretty for an invitation. So I took a leisure class at LSU, and I guess he got married in 2000, so it was probably 1999,
Oh wow.
98, 99,
So
when
kind of when I first we started hanging out, kind of around that similar
right,
time.
I was still learning.
Yeah, because you were handwriting invitations, weren't you?
Probably, but
I mean,
mostly envelope
Envelopes. I'm
addressing.
sorry, not invitations. I'm so sorry. I meant
Right,
envelopes.
envelope addressing,
Yes, you were
definitely.
addressing.
That's how it started, with envelope
Yes.
addressing.
Yes, and I know
Yeah.
she also has a book, but we're not going to get into that right now. But I read in there at one time you hand did 1,600 envelopes by hand.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
that was a challenge.
Yeah. So now you have a font, right? Is that what you
I do. I have actually 4 fonts.
Oh,
I
wow.
have 4 patents and copyrights. The latest one, Vina Morse, is one that I had a font foundry create for me to make it very professional and kind of take it to the next level, because the other 3 I made from just a little program. I had my current business partner, Alyssa, help me create that. We were both working out of our homes at the time, and so I would write each letter of the alphabet, and she would go back and put each letter with the other letter to make this font. So it was very painstakingly done, but not super professional. But so this new font, and actually I have another one in the works that
Really?
hopefully will come out
Well, your work's so beautiful.
maybe by the end of the year, but
Really?
might be next year before.
There's
the
a
end.
different styles
There's
of
different
calligraphy.
hands.
Okay.
So what I learned from the LSU leisure class was that italic, that straight up and down hand that you see a lot of times on certificates and so forth. And that's how I did Andre's wedding invitations. But
Oh wow.
once it started, people started calling me to do their weddings. Eventually, they were asking for the pointed nib, the script. Copper plate is the name of that particular style of writing. that I pretty much do now.
Is that with the big, like, more of a...
It's a little bit loopier. It's a cursive script, and basically you have the thick and thin strokes, and I use a dip pen.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually just you press down harder to get that wide stroke, and then you lighten up on the nib on the pressure to get the thinner hairline strokes. So I kind of developed my own style with
Absolutely.
writing.
There's a big art to this, because I would watch you and just be
and
in
a lot
awe.
of it is muscle memory. It's just doing it over and over and over again. And eventually I created the fonts really because people started wanting the original invitation done by hand, and to make it easier and not have to do 1,500 envelopes by hand, because it was just crippling my hands and my neck.
And your neck. Oh, yeah.
So I designed the fonts really to do envelope addressing.
Perfect.
In fact, I named the font Vina Morse after the ring finger, which
Really?
means vein of love.
Oh,
So it was really designed
that.
for that purpose.
Okay.
But what's really cool about that font is a lot of people, a lot of local stationers in Baton Rouge and also New Orleans, and actually in different states as well.
Really?
Lafayette, I've done calligraphy for all these different companies. Many of them have purchased the fonts and have used it.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool. It's in a couple of books, like it was in Arsberger, which is a big stationery company.
Really?
And it's in there. They purchased the font, and a couple of other big name companies that have.
See, I didn't even know all this,
Yeah.
Kathryn.
Well, and then what's really fun is Lauren, Alyssa's daughter, who helped open the shop for us.
Who I just adore both of them.
She's
They
precious,
are great.
and she is our social media guru. She does a fantastic job on social media.
Oh, the social media is beautiful. All the work that.
And she just, and she's a bride to be, so we will be doing her invitation soon.
Well,
Actually, that's her. Yeah,
Can
that's
I show
her.
it?
Yeah,
Can I show her
yeah.
invitation?
Sure.
Yes, it's okay. So I don't know if we can. I'm looking. I don't know. Can you see the liner? See, this is the liner,
yeah.
and I love. I know, like when you did Lindsay's, she did my daughter's wedding too. You actually, for Lindsay's, you did real fabric.
Yeah.
Real fabric in the inside. Dad, can you pull up Lindsay's?
Seersucker.
It was seersucker. There's that
To match the
because
the groomsmen,
Yeah, the
right?
groomsmen
Yeah.
were all seersucker. Do you have Lindsay's dad up or not? No.
No, I do
you
not.
can't. I'm sorry. It'll come up later. But yeah, this is Lauren's. It's so beautiful. I know you doesn't do it.
It's hard to
justice.
see the
It is.
imprint,
It
which is
doesn't do it
actually called
justice.
debossing in letterpress terms.
Oh wow.
And it was considered poor pressmanship way back when if it indented into the paper.
Poor.
Because it was,
It was
this
poor
was the brand new.
okay.
This
That's the opposite of what I heard.
well, it's
I
different
heard
now.
It's different now. I heard like when you
Now-
rub the back. That's something you taught me. When you rub the back, right?
It's really the front.
The
because
front, it's the
sometimes
front.
it depends on the thickness of the paper.
I know,
So
like-
sometimes you don't get the bruising on the back all the time, but like
'Cause you wanna
engraving,
f-
you usually
You can feel it.
right.
Yes, and I know, like
Yeah.
grandmas, they love to
Yeah.
feel the invitations. They like that. Oh yeah, 'cause
We
that's-
have created some stationery snobs. I think you became one of them, right?
I
After doing.
I know. I won't
Lindsay's
get
invitations.
any of my invitations anywhere else but with you. You know that doesn't matter. But also, I want to talk about the letterpress. The is that machine? Is that what it's called? Make sure I'm
Yes.
saying the
Yeah,
right thing. Look at the machine. It's amazing.
So that machine, I did a lot of work in my house for several years, and I just fell in love. Once I started studying calligraphy, I started to study printing methods. And letterpress is the oldest printing method. It dates back from like 1450,
Really?
around at that time period. And my dad, being a retired engineer, they lived right behind me, and I asked him if I found a letterpress machine, if he would operate it. And he was just so excited about it. So he actually got on eBay and
Really?
just searched day in, day out. Took several months to find the machine that
Oh,
we
wow.
settled on, which we dubbed the grasshopper because of its green color. But he found it and called. There's my dad, and there's the
look at
press
it.
running.
Yeah, that's in the store.
That's not the grasshopper press. That's a newer press that we acquired recently.
So
and
what
that's
is
in the
that?
storefront. That's a Chandler Price, but it's actually it's an older press than the one
Really?
that I normally use in the back. The one in the back is a little bit newer, which is still ancient. It's still an antique, weighs about a ton.
Yeah.
But Dad called the owner of that
So
press.
is that the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He called the owner, previous owner of the press, who was selling it, and Dad, he asked my dad. Dad said we're interested in buying a press, and the guy, and Dad said, I'd like to know what comes with it, what the size is, because it's got to go in her garage. And the guy said, well, it comes with furniture. And my dad said, she doesn't have room for furniture. She already has a paper cutter in there, and she has this and that and these tables, and there's no room for furniture. What size is the furniture? And he said, do you know anything about letterpress? And Dad said, no. And he said, well, I'm not going to sell it to you unless you come here and I give you some lessons. This man was like in his middle to late 80s.
Isn't that nice?
So we drove, me, Mom, and Dad drove to St. Pete's, Florida.
Really?
And
I did not know that.
Met the guy there. Took little videos of him teaching my dad the press. Well, furniture is little pieces of wood.
That's furniture that I saw on there. That was
probably in the video.
It's in the
little
video.
pieces of wood that you use to kind of build up your form, your chase, which holds your plates and your base.
Yeah.
And so once it's actually behind my head.
It's behind
that
your head?
tower. That's furniture. That's metal.
Wow.
I've got metal furniture and wood furniture.
Okay.
So
that's so cool. I mean, I come into the store and I see you doing all that. I have no idea what you're doing. I mean, I know you're making invitations. That's about all I know.
Well, what's neat about the store is you can actually watch. We've got a big window where you can actually
that's what I love
in production.
about that.
And we have a lot of clients and brides that will video or come in. I'll invite them around the corner to stand closer to the press if they want to.
Cool.
And
I mean,
see
I
their invitation in the works. So
love that.
It's kind of a neat process.
On that one, that's mainly you use on the thicker paper with the letterpress,
We generally use two different weights, 118 pound and then double that weight for a 2-ply. It can go super, super thick, coaster, weight. The weights can vary.
Yeah.
But it because letterpress was done in books. I mean, it was, so it could be paper thin and still get a
Okay,
nice,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it had to be thicker for some reason.
It has to be, we like to use 100% cotton paper. So we definitely use a higher end paper if we're letterpressing. It looks so much prettier. It feels good to the touch. And it just it prints much nicer. So.
Well, yeah, I know with Lindsay's we did like I think a little bit thicker than this one is. I think we did a little bit, but ours was smaller, and we did a different type of invitation. And I remember you painted the edges, edge painted yellow because we did this. Remember, it was like the blue and the yellow, all the colors.
Yeah.
But so you do that too. So you
I don't do that in the store anymore.
You don't do that.
It's so messy. It was fine in my garage. I mean,
it's in your garage.
Yeah, because I would use airbrush. So my garage was very colorful.
Because that's when Lindsay got married. You were in your house.
Still working out of my garage.
Yeah, you're in your garage and upstairs doing a lot of your calligraphy stuff.
What really happened with moving to the shop was that, it was getting so big in my garage. And some of these clients of mine, amazing, but these weddings are not like the wedding we had growing up. They're like
weddings are different now.
Unbelievable.
Oh, they're amazing.
And so I had some really high-end clients that would come to the house. Super nice. I was the one that was just a nervous wreck having these people come to my
in your
little modest
garage.
home. I would not even take them in the garage. It was, no way.
Yeah.
I had a litter box in there. It was like, no, you're not going in the garage. But they would come to the house, and it got to where, I have 3 kids, I had pets, and I just felt like it wasn't as professional as, like I would have the cat jump on. I had a client fly in from Houston for our appointments. And I mean, I'll never forget. I mean, this was just a big, big wedding and, spending a lot of money. And she's sitting at my kitchen table and the cat just pounces on her lap. And I just wanted to kill myself.
Oh my gosh.
No, we could not do.
My gosh.
And my husband worked shift work, so he was sleeping sometimes. And I'm thinking, I hope he knows I have company here. I hope he doesn't come out without a shirt on. You
Oh
know,
my
kids running
gosh.
up and down the stairs. And so it
You
just
had to
got
get
to
a
where,
shot. Yeah.
okay, if I want to, and like I said, the customers were super gracious. Sometimes they would stay for hours upon hours upon hours, because we would have coffee and
I think I did that.
but and you're totally fine if the cat jumps on your lap.
I don't
or if
care about
kids,
the cat,
whatever.
I know. So you do have a business partner.
I do.
I want to mention her.
She is
Alyssa.
amazing.
I know.
She is like my sister. My other sister. I do have a wonderful sister as well in Dallas. But Alyssa, she's held my hand for many, many years. Been through everything I've gone through. Some very challenging, difficult times in the past. She actually worked for me at a former business, and was our bookkeeper, and did an incredible job turning that business around, and just made it she did just phenomenal work. And so really, it was really kind of scary to partner again, because I had been through that one time before.
Absolutely.
But
she's so good, though. We love Alyssa.
Absolutely.
And she's
absolutely
salt of the earth,
just a
good person.
Good person.
She really
trustworthy.
is.
And so she and I, she used to be a neighbor of mine, and our husbands are good friends. Our kids are good friends.
Absolutely.
So it just was natural that she would be the left left brain side of the business, and be the right brain side.
Yeah, you're the creative one, yes.
She can run a business,
Absolutely.
So,
and I see her sometimes helping out, too, when I go in there. She helps.
loves to do, and she's good at that, too.
Yeah,
she probably has both sides of her brain working, but she won't admit it, where I don't. But she will get in there, and she has to get in there sometimes and help with
she does.
Gift wrapping and bow tying and whatever, assembly.
And that's what I wanted to mention too. Like you see the bow right here, but I came in the other day, and that's another thing. The shop's also like, I love going to the shop, because it's not just coming to buy stuff. We talk.
Therapy.
Therapy. We have. I know when I found out my daughter had cancer, when she had breast cancer. I can't tell you how many times I came in there and I started crying, and y'all were there for me.
Oh,
y'all were
you're gonna make me cry.
I know, but y'all were so good. You would stop working, and you would just stop. And Alyssa too. Yeah. Y'all didn't care what was going on.
We have a box of Kleenex
handy.
And
you do, and you have a prayer. You have the list of prayer, the people you're praying for, and the candle, your saint's candle that you light for people.
Speaking of prayer, if I can, it might be a good segue to ask for some prayers, because we've had a really tough week with our paperweight family.
Absolutely.
My husband, Jay, we lost a cousin in Chicago, 58 years old, to cancer. And she battled long and hard. So it's just really sad that we can't be there for her services tomorrow. And then Alyssa's father-in-law is very ill right now, so he needs some special prayers. And also Christy, who works for us, she does a lot of our graphics. Her father-in-law is on hospice.
Wow.
We have a lot of...
well, I'll definitely. And everybody else,
sadness.
Please pray. Please pray for them. Absolutely. But what I was trying to get to before I had my little emotional breakdown, which is true. That's what good friends are for. But I see y'all do that with y'all. I feel like your clients become family almost. You're so close. I mean, when I was in the shop, you had 2 or 3 people walk in, and it's like, they're so close to y'all. It's just great how y'all have such a good rapport with people.
We do.
But anyways, getting back to the invitations. You're putting ribbons. You're doing wax seals. Liners. The liners. Oh my gosh! That was
so
one
much
wedding
fun.
that you said you were doing it. Is it Ottoman Park?
Oh my gosh!
That
the Ottoman tea room. In
Ottoman
New
tea room.
Orleans.
Okay, that invitation.
That's a showstopper.
Oh my gosh! The liner. I'm like, can I
know.
get this wallpapered for my house?
I know.
Amazing.
Fabulous. The whole suite is.
It's
been out on our table because, of course, we don't have a whole lot of room in the back, so we have to kind of stretch out what we're doing in the front. And people they stop and ask about it. And
I want that invitation just to hang on my wall. It's beautiful.
I know. It's really cool.
It is. And it's so funny. A lot of the weddings that you've done with a lot of my friends and things like that, I I save everybody's invitation. Isn't that funny? I have a little box that they're just so beautiful. You can't throw them in the garbage. It's just.
And sometimes we'd have clients that come in and they'll say, I don't want to spend a lot of money on invitations because they're just going to get thrown away. But then after we kind of do our thing with them, they become paper snobs and they know what to look for. And then they're saving there. And then their cheap invitations end up being, wait a minute, I thought you wanted cheap. But they're like, never mind. This is what we're going with because it's just too fabulous. And that's, and you said we have a good rapport, and we really do. And it's because really Alyssa and I both sit on every appointment if we're available, which most of the time, 90% of the time we're both available.
And you're so personable and you listen to people. And I've been in there so many times where, people are going through, life happens. Yeah. And just like one of my friends had stage 3 cancer and was going through a lot of stuff, and you did their wedding. And you just listen and you don't rush people. And I'm telling you, it means it does.
That's why we're doing what we do. It's not really, we want to create a beautiful product for our clients, but
it's everything. It's all the different factors in it. It's not just, go in there, rush somebody like, okay, you're going to do this, and then rush them out. Like, you don't want to go back there. You know what I mean? You're not going to want to continue. I mean, of course, you're my friend, but if I would have been rushed out, I'm go somewhere else to get business where you're not rushed out, where I feel valued as a client, But anyway, you make everybody feel so valued.
We have, we joke and say, we also have a therapy clinic.
We do joke about that. Y'all
right.
do.
I mean, we've got a good mutual friend who comes in often, like you, just to say hi and whatever. Yeah. And we cry every time she comes in. And even if it's a happy cry, we cry. It's just hysterical. It's like, what is this? But we also have clients that do the same thing, people that we don't even know, that we get to know through the process of helping design their invitation. And we had one mother of a bride, who just came in literally for her to just vent, because sometimes you need to just release that.
Absolutely. Weddings are so stressful.
And, and it doesn't go anywhere. And we don't know the people she's talking about.
No.
Most of the time. Sometimes they do. But she doesn't, they don't need to know that. And it just makes them feel good to be able to just release that. And
you do. Especially when you're going through weddings. It's so complicated. It's a lot of money you're spending. Right. And that's another thing that, like with the invitation, and I don't think I didn't realize it until you educated me on it. It does set the tone. My mom always told me that my mom's very much
old school
invitation person. Loves that. And it does. It sets the tone for everything. Now, when we were younger, our invitations were not like this or like they are now. But it totally does. It really, you have
back
to.
When we got married, because you're married how many years? We're married like 33 years.
Yes. About 30 years, yes.
You pick an invitation out of a book. You get to pick the font.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
So it's like,
that's it.
We all have the same.
Everybody
if you're
does.
really fancy, you had a nice little design, blind embossed design, or the real fancy ones had a little die cut design in there.
So now everything's so elaborate, nice. It's so much better now. Well, I mean, I remember even like my showers, it was like the Hallmark where it's handwritten. You write it. And now it's like when, my daughter-in-law had her baby shower, we were, you had the beautiful watercolor stuff. You just did such with the Peter Rabbit. It was just beautiful. Remember that? You did such a good job with that. So it's art. Yeah. It's like an art. It really is. But also I want to talk about, you do some hand-painted china. You've done some for a friend of mine. I know that. You're so talented. I don't know if you a long time, but you did some for her recently, didn't you, or not?
Oh yes, okay. So that wasn't china. What did you do? It was more pottery.
More pottery, should I say pottery? I am so sorry. It's the pottery.
But when you did do when her daughter was little bitty, I did a tea set for her and several pieces, and she would commission me to do things for other other people, and that was porcelain that was hand painted and fired in a kiln, and
Yes.
But this, she wanted these cake plates for her
I saw
for
that.
twins,
Oh, no.
and so we went to the little pottery place, and they sat there, the two of them, mom and daughter, and watched me paint for like 3 hours.
But
So,
you did
but
it.
it was
It was
fun.
amazing
It was
because I remember
fun.
seeing it.
It was a little different, and I didn't have the brushes like my brushes. These brushes were,
the pottery
a
place
little
brush.
difficult to work with.
Yeah, not what you're used to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But actually, it was really, in fact, I want to do that for my grandkids. I'm glad you mentioned that because
yeah, you should.
I need to
and
put
I might
that on
get
my...
you to do that for mine. Definitely. Also, tell everybody like what else you have in the store, like other things. Like I know, have y'all like what else do y'all
We don't
have?
really have much cash and carry anymore. We started out doing a lot of cash and carry, just gift items. Like we had Antiglass, and we still can get all of that. Mariposa. We just had, some different brands that we carried.
I know you have those beautiful trays. I love
Yes.
those. I love those coffee
Yes.
coffee table trays. Those are beautiful.
I know. Well, those are done by local artist Allison Dillard.
Okay.
So I know they're gorgeous.
So
and
that's what y'all do. Tell them about that. How
Well,
you have a local artist that
so
comes
we
in.
also have, when we designed the shop, so we built out the shop, and kudos to Jason Spencer. Amazing job with our build out. I sketched a floor plan, and he just brought it to life, and so super proud of how the shop turned out.
So you designed the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
Took about 2 years from, it didn't take him that long, but conception to the finished product. So Liz and I, stepping back a little bit, we kind of did things the right way, as opposed to my first time around.
Yes.
We hired an attorney and helped, she read the lease agreement and kind of told us what questions to ask. And then we wrote a business proposal. We partnered up with a great team of people with Next Level, which is business advisors. And Chris King is the owner of that, and fabulous job just coaching us. And he still coaches us. We still call him with questions.
Really?
He still kind of oversees the big picture of our business. So that was super important. And we also, what I tell people is, we got divorced before we got married. So because we know, we're up there in age now. And, I have 4 grandchildren. She's got a future son-in-law on the way. And hopefully we'll have grandchildren, hopefully soon. We don't know yet.
Absolutely.
But, wishful thinking. And we don't want to do this, forever. So we decided to kind of figure out how to separate the business without any red tape. So all of it's kind of just easy.
That's
it's easy.
Awesome.
It's
but getting back to the artists, you have the local artists.
The local artists we have. So we designed the hallway to be a gallery.
I love it.
So we bought some gallery rails that you can adjust with wires to hang local art. So we invite different local artists to come showcase their stuff in our little mini gallery. So it's a lot of fun. Gives us something beautiful to look at.
Absolutely.
And get to know the artist. Right now we have Christy Baker. She is fabulous. I don't know. I'm not sure how long her work's going to still be at the shop, but she does amazing work of a lot of the churches.
Yes, I saw
pretty stuff.
Some of her work when we were in there, and I was like, gosh, I know my mom would love, because some of the churches. I think she had one of St. George.
She does have one of St. George.
And
she pretty much has all the local churches, and then she's got a few in New Orleans as well.
Yeah, New Orleans.
But she's talented in other ways too, not just of the churches. She's got some beautiful
everything,
and just all kinds of
absolutely.
And then Allison Dillard was our first featured artist. I actually have a giant painting of hers in my office, which is the shop part of the shop, and I love it, and it just makes me so happy.
So many talented people.
So, and then I've had 2 cousins in Lafayette that are extremely talented as well, and we've showcased their work too, and just beautiful stuff.
Who were they?
Julie Bro. She does very vivid, just beautifully organic, just beautiful stuff. And she's very well known in Lafayette. Okay. And then Leslie Tamarillo, she's a little bit more muted colors, different vibe, different look.
Yeah.
But absolutely exquisite.
Oh, wow.
So talented. So
So-
hopefully we'll get them back in.
But I did want to mention this. I mean, I know we're not going to talk about it long. That'd be a different show. We'd have to do this. But you did write a book about your journey. And I'm not going to get too much into that. But I just want to tell you how much I enjoyed. I'm almost done. But how much I couldn't put it down. Like with what you sent me. It was beautiful. And your faith journey was amazing. All the saints, I mean, just everything in it was beautiful. So I hope one day you do publish the
Thank
book
you.
because it really touched me.
Oh.
I loved it. I really, really did. And then we do have something else in common. Our parents, and so Dad, you can come on.
Yeah.
Put your little face up there.
There I am.
Put your face in front of my face.
And our faces, now that we've been zoomed in the
blur
whole
us out.
time.
Hello, ladies.
So, my mom and dad and your mom and dad did Marriage Encounter together, right?
We did.
They did. And
And
you
traded babysitting and all that kind
and
of stuff.
traded babysitting and all
Did
that.
y'all have all 7 of us?
I don't think so.
No, y'all got split up.
Y'all only had 2, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and y'all liked it. I remember that was the story that, I remember, we were talking about it one time, and you were like, oh, I love Marriage Encounter because you liked going to spend the night out. I just remember I hated Marriage Encounter because my mom and dad, I did not.
You don't like them to leave?
No, I want to stay with my mom and dad all the time, when I was little.
That's
So I didn't
sweet.
want them to leave me. And, they would say, oh, we're going to Marriage Encounter weekend. And I'd be like, no.
Well,
No.
tell them how we figured out the Harry, Margaret, and Gina Pam.
How did we figure that out? I forget.
Oh.
I forget the story.
I was relying on you to tell it.
Oh, gosh.
I just think we were sitting at the ballpark, probably watching baseball,
I'm
just
probably talking about
doing this, and
Yeah.
you probably said, Margaret and Harry, and I was like,
Margaret
that name's
and
so
Harry.
familiar.
And then Gene
and
and
then I
Pam.
said Gina Pam, and then you
Yes.
were like, wait a minute. So we both, I think,
'Cause
called our parents.
I remember Gene
and
and
they
Pam.
were like, oh my God.
Yes.
Y'all used to spend the night at each other's
Yes,
houses when you
yes.
were little.
And
Well,
I
when
did-
we remembered people back in those days, it was always, 2 names and a last name.
It was.
Because it was always
Right.
couples, right?
It was
Yeah.
couples.
Yeah. Well,
But, and I
yeah.
say I always had, but look, it's like how kids are. You would say you didn't want to go, but once I got there, I had the best time.
Yeah.
All the time I had good times. I have great memories I remember going to all kind of stuff with all the different, so all the people were great to us. I hate them. So I'm just saying I didn't like getting dropped off at first, but then once I was there, I had a great time. But that was anywhere. So I never,
Yeah.
unless I was going to my grandparents' house and my grandfather was bringing me down to the French Quarter at 7.
What?
I know.
That's a story for another show.
That's a story. Yeah, I was at the piano bar a few times, but
Nice.
I was told to say I was at Schwegman's and at the Mackenzie's Donuts. So
Aw.
so
Yeah,
funny.
we
But
don't know.
anyway,
We don't know where he took us.
I don't know.
I don't want to run out of time before
Oh.
I have some gifts.
Oh, you have a gift. Well, I guess let her give us our gifts on so we can show everybody.
Okay.
I have to go
You
with
did
gifts.
not have to bring me a
You
gift.
bring gifts to me at the shop all the time, so I
Aw.
had to bring you some gifts. So-
Okay, well, let's see. Open.
Okay, so this one's for you. This one is a cookbook from
Oh, I love that.
Donaldsonville.
Oh, from Donaldsonville, because
I
I just
know.
went. Yeah, I just went to my Mount
So
Pilgrim.
this church is Ascension of Our Lord. They celebrated their 250th anniversary. I think it actually happened during
wow.
COVID, but they actually had their big celebration this past year. And they asked me to do their invitation, so I did this watercolor of the church.
No, you did not.
And
That's your
then-
work?
It is. And then I'm thinking, so then after the invitations went out, they called me and said, hey, would you mind if we use your artwork for cookbooks? I'm thinking it's just little stapled, like we used to
Yeah.
do in our kids
Yeah,
in
yeah,
school,
absolutely.
just spiral bound, whatever. And it's this big, beautiful cookbook. And I went to that celebration and it was just so beautifully
Really?
done. I mean, it was just amazing, beautiful
I love Donaldsonville.
evening. And so anyway, and they do this little write-up on me, which is
Oh,
so
oh, I
sweet. But
love
anyway,
that.
the recipes are really cool. It's
That's
from
so
a lot
cool.
of parishioners and a few from some famous chefs are in here.
Oh, and I will
And
definitely
Gorgeous
use that.
pictures of food and the church.
I love
So-
that. Oh, look! I want to
Enjoy
show everybody.
that.
Look how beautiful. Can you see? Oh,
And
yeah.
you can get them, I guess, at the church.
it's so
Also,
beautiful.
we carry them at our shop too, but actually we're out right now. So
Look,
we need to order some
you
more.
did. I can't believe you did that. That's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Yeah,
Well, thank you
and
so
this
much.
is for
That's plenty.
Mr. Harry.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
You want to come open it now, or you want me to pass
No,
it to you?
you
Let's see if I can get over there.
oh wait. Dad!
Is this okay?
Oh.
He's gonna sit down.
Here.
Uh-oh.
He got some liquor.
Whoa, wait. That's the strong stuff, right?
Depends on how you like it, but wait, so I do the labels for Maker's
Oh, is
Mark.
that right? Look at that honey and Harry on
Did
there.
you
Will you look
see
at that?
that? I love
Yeah.
that.
Autographed just for us.
So
There you
didn't
go.
you
Thank
do
so
that
much.
at Alexander's? Didn't you?
I do it
do.
at different grocery stores.
Okay.
Rouse's,
Yeah.
Alexander's, a lot of the local grocery stores.
That is
I'm
neat.
actually not hired by the grocery store. I'm hired by someone that, I guess she represents different liquor companies. And
Oh
so,
wow.
she hires me to do.
Well, let me
Okay.
show. Can you show
Yeah.
it good? Let's see.
That's strong stuff there.
Not in, if you make an old fashioned, it's perfect.
Oh, you
Oh, fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can,
Okay,
I don't know,
there's
Dad,
one
can you
more.
zoom into this a little bit?
So I'm
There you go.
actually going to be at the
I
Two
love
Baton
that.
Rouge Rouse's
All right, Dad.
right before Thanksgiving, Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, really? Okay. So you're gonna be where at Rouse's?
The two Baton Rouge Rouse's. But
Which-
I don't know
You don't know.
which one's which. we'll put it in our social media
yeah.
stuff.
Please put it out there so people, because I love.
So I think it's from 5:30
that.
to
I love
7:30
that.
in the
Thank you so
evening.
much, Kathryn.
Yeah,
And I
that's
can
so
write
nice.
anything you want on it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think Makers just came out with labels for their 46. Their
I love
stronger
this.
stuff.
I know. I
So-
have definitely have a certain cousin in mind that I should get something.
Well, absolutely. And look, people, sometimes I'll meet people at these grocery stores and they'll just buy a case or whatever and come to me later at the shop and I'll handwrite them at the shop because I keep the labels at the shop.
I love
Wow.
that. That is
So great groomsmen gifts, things like
It
that.
really is, and it's a great Christmas gift.
Right, 25.
This is a great Christmas gift.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So,
No,
anyway.
I'm glad I know. I have somebody I want to get this for already.
Hey.
I
And
love
then
that.
one more little thing.
One more thing. Oh my goodness.
Okay, you open it.
Oh my gosh. I saw- Oh,
It's a little
look.
tacky,
Oh,
but
no, it's not. Look. Oh my gosh. I don't have my glasses on. The
don't have
Honey
my
and Harry
glasses on.
Show. Our outstanding content dedicated to the enhancement of life, family, community, and faith on this day. Oh my goodness.
your first little certificate.
I know. And look, my little baby's on there that I miss so much.
Look at him up there.
Odie.
Let me just tell you, talk about loyalty. I don't know if I got this right.
Sweet little Odie.
This was the most loyal, I guess, not person, but he was the most loyal
was
to
a
me in my
person to
life.
you.
He
was your baby.
He was my baby.
How
So
old-
thank you so
how
much. I love
old
this.
That's
he-
beautiful, Kathryn. Thank you.
And he
You're
passed.
welcome.
He was 17 and a half years
Because
old.
remember, we were at the beach together.
Yes.
When my dog passed.
Yes.
We were all at the restaurant,
Yes,
and
yes.
my mom called and said she was crying.
I
and
do
said,
remember that.
Y'all say goodbye to Bo. He's dying, and he was 17.
I
we
remember.
were all
That's
just
so weird. I had
bawling.
forgotten
I
about
know.
that.
I know.
We were all at the beach. Terrible. The dog dies while we were at
While
the
we're at the
beach.
and then she calls while we're at the restaurant, so we're all sobbing. The
I
waiter's
remember-
like,
I
"Can
know. We're all like,
take your
oh
order?"
gosh.
Like,
I do remember that. Oh, our fun times we had. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for all my gifts. This is great.
You're
So nice.
welcome.
And thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll have you back on about your book that you've published
Thank you.
soon. But
That I published.
soon. Soon.
I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
publish it.
It served its purpose. It was me getting stuff out. that I
But
needed to get out.
it's definitely
So-
I think a lot of people would love to
Thank you.
hear it. Absolutely. All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Love you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kathryn.
Bye.
Okay, we're going to go out with a tribute video here to Paper White and Kathryn and Alyssa.